Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll show you how to crochet this one-piece cardigan. It's really cute, simple, and easy. For this project, I'm using acrylic yarn. This is a number 3 category yarn, but you may use any type of yarn of your choice. Each one is about 100 grams, that's about 350 meters long, and I use 5 of this. I'm using a 5mm hook, a pair of scissors, yarn needle, stitch markers, and measuring tape. Before we begin, we need to find the measurement. Open your arms wide, measure from fingertip to fingertip. My measurement is exactly from this end of the measuring tape to this end of the measuring tape. So that's about 63 inches. And this is the length of the chain we are making. Once you know the measurement, then we are going to begin by making a slip knot. Insert the hook and make a foundation chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could be in any number that's according to your measurement. Mine is 63 inches, so my chain is 280. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to make 40 chains. To begin row 1, start on the second chain from hook. 1, 2, this one, turn to the back. In the little bump at the back of the chain, place a slip stitch, insert, pull through, and pull through. In the next chain, slip stitch, insert, pull through, and pull through. Again, slip stitch into the next chain. You can make as many slip stitches as you like. I did 30 slip stitches on the actual cardigan, but for demonstration purposes, I'm making 10 slip stitches. In your last slip stitch, which I have 10 here, place a marker. In the next stitch, double crochet, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, and yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. Double crochet into the next chain, and double crochet into the next chain. Double crochet into every chain until the last 10 chains, or whatever the number of slip stitches you made at the beginning. Alright, with the last 10 chains, slip stitch, place a marker, and slip stitch into every chain until the end. To begin row 2, 1 chain, turn, in the first stitch, slip stitch, and make sure to insert into 2 loops. In the next stitch, so here's the V, and that's the front loop, this is the back loop. Slip stitch into the back loop only, which is this one that's far away from us. slip stitch into the back loop of the next stitch, slip stitch into the back loop until where the marker is. The trick is to keep your slip stitches very loose, otherwise you're giving a hard time for yourself. So make sure to keep the stitches very loose. Once we get to the marker, slip stitch into the back loop and place the marker. Then double crochet into every stitch until the next marker. At the marker, that's where the slip stitch begins. So place a slip stitch into the back loop, remove the marker, then place a marker into this stitch, slip stitch into the back loop until the last stitch. In the last stitch, slip stitch into 2 loops, just like what we did at the beginning. One chain and turn to begin the next row. In the first stitch, slip stitch into 2 loops, then slip stitch into the back loop until the marker. And this is a repeat. Repeat this until it is wide enough to wrap around the wrist. This is how one end looks like, and the other end looks exactly the same. It measures at 7 inches. It wraps around my wrist nicely. From here, we're going to stitch along the side. So make sure to leave a long tail, then cut yarn. On the first stitch, make sure to insert into 2 loops of this layer and 2 loops on the first stitch of the second layer. Then insert into the loops that are close to each other. So this is the front loop of this layer, and this is the back loop of this layer. Front loop, back loop, then back loop, front loop, front loop, back loop. We are matching every stitch and stop when you feel it's comfortable to wear. I stopped at 16 inches and do the same on the other side. cut yarn, and fasten off. To finish it off, I attach a piece of yarn, tie a knot at one end of the first piece, then tie another knot at the end of the new working yarn, and pull. Insert hook into the first layer, and the second layer. Pull through the working yarn, one chain, and now we're going to separate the two layers, single crochet, place a marker, and single crochet into the next stitch, single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, and single crochet into every stitch all the way around. At the end of the round, slip stitch into the first stitch, one chain, cut yarn, and fasten off. If you like today's tutorial, please show some love, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!